Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Now, I'm not kidding, I was going to kick off this video tomorrow as we are heading out to this incredible swimming spot out here in the Pilbara, but I came out to this campsite, I'm going to say very late yesterday afternoon, because I drove in not really expecting anything too grand, and I had to keep stopping and putting the drone up because this spot is insane. So I was like, I have to jump on here, start this vlog a day earlier just to show you guys this campsite. Now, the road in is so shit. So I think that's one thing that everyone always harps on about from like reading the reviews online, is how terrible the road is getting in here. However, I drove from Keraudren National Park out to where I am now. So we are in the Millstream Chichester National Park. Let me tell you, that is 3 hours of unsealed, shitty road. So I think for me, getting into this campsite, it was same. I'd pretty much driven 3 hours on pretty horrible roads. So look, I didn't think it was that bad to get in here. Definitely four-wheel drive only. Would not recommend coming in here if there is rain, or even if it is like potentially like a bit of a heat wave, but honestly, so worthwhile. Let me show you guys this spot. Now the campsite itself is on Wikicamps as Gorge River. It's definitely not much of a river system at the moment, but there is absolutely fish in there, and I have seen that people swim in here. I am not going to swim in here. I feel like they must have had recent rain, but it is a little bit stagnant right now. But the Google Maps location, it takes you about, I'm going to say 14 kilometers down from Python Pool, which is exactly where we're heading tomorrow. But you have to drive, I'm going to say another 5 or 10 kilometers to get to this spot, but it is so worthwhile. It is so quiet. There has literally been no one here. So this is my second day here. Not a single person has driven through us. I've had this entire area to myself. So it definitely gives middle of nowhere vibes, which look, it kind of is, but at the same time, we are only like an hour and a half away from Keraudren. So we're pretty close to the coastline now. And our plan of attack for this video is to make our way all the way up to Broome. So it is like a solid 10-hour drive. So we're going to be breaking this up, doing a little bit of sightseeing along the way, but it has been so good just having the last couple of days here to just sort of like slow down a little bit. Although I have been testing out a product and I have had so much editing to do, so that's been a really good time just to be able to dedicate all of my time and energy to that. But you guys might remember I had to pick up a package in Tom Price, which is exactly what I've been testing, and I thought it would be really handy for you guys to have a little bit of insight into this product, because it's going to come in handy with my setup, but it also might come in handy for yours as well. So if you guys have been following along for a little while, or even just watched any of my build series, my BT, you will know that my actual like battery setup is elite. Like I'm running a 200 amp hour lithium battery from Custom Lithium, and then I'm also running the 2000 watt inverter, plus all of this is linked up through the EnerDrive Traveler system. So I'm going to say that it covers 90% of my usage. Now, a lot of you may not recall this. I think I mentioned it very early on in my travels. I do mention it a little bit more in my Patreon, but I actually work remotely as I travel. As much as I wish that my travel content would cover my entire lifestyle, it does not. So yeah, I still work on the road and then I do edit. So my day-to-day draw is pretty big, especially with running Starlink, all of my induction, because I have completely run out of gas canisters. The joys of being remote, you can't just like restock on things. But for all of these reasons, I just wanted a external power option, because I'm not going to go out and upgrade my whole battery system. It's just not worth it, especially when, like I said, it's not really a big problem in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, just by having an external power system, I think would just make all the difference. And look, back when I had my Suzuki Jimny, this is literally how I had power. So that's why I thought it'd be really good for you guys to see me test out this product, because you may not have the same setup as me. So this actually might come in handy for you guys just using either weekends, day to day, or whatever it might be. Now, I have no doubt you guys are going to do your own research, especially if this aligns with your setup. But for me, honestly, key take homes is it is a super sleek design. So it weighs in at like 11 kilos or just over, meaning that it is just easy to transport. It's easy just to tuck behind the passenger or the driver's side seat for storage. And then there is this really nice sleek hidden handle on the back of it. So it does make it even easier to transport. So for myself, when I'm taking it up to the rooftop tent, that's going to be really easy for me. It actually operates at only 30 decibels, so it's actually really quiet, which is, I think, an added bonus. And then in total, there is 9 ports. So it should pretty much cover every single use that you have, or at least 90% of them as well. And then it also links up with an app. So the app is really cool because not only does it give you a warning of low battery, but then once you've got it on charge, it will also tell you when the battery is at capacity so that you can obviously optimize charging. And then on top of that, it also comes with 10 years of battery life. So all in all, I think that this is definitely a winner for pretty much anybody's setup. So whether you are long-term touring or short-term, now they have got an introductory price. I'm going to put all the details in the description, as well as a discount code that you can use on top of that sale as well. So check it out if you guys are keen, but we have got some cooking to do. I've got to get some dinner ready, and then the sunset here is epic. So I can't wait to show you guys that as well. So we're gonna keep dinner pretty simple tonight. I think I'm just gonna have literally steak and rice, because now that the sun has gone behind those mountains, it's going to get dark really quickly. So I'm probably just gonna curl up, have a nice early night. Tomorrow, we are going to get up relatively early, just slowly make our way out of here so I can show you guys a little bit more of the track, since we'll have actual daylight tomorrow. And we'll make our way over to Python Pool. Now, as far as Keraudren goes, I don't know if I'm going to go into Keraudren. I don't really know what's there, but I don't know. I'll think about it tonight. I might do a bit of research and we'll go from there. So we've got about a 30-minute drive to get over to our very first stop off for today, which is Python Pool. Now, I'm pretty keen to show you guys the track on the way out of here. The fact that nobody drove through the entire time I was here is shocking to me. Like, I really don't think the track is that bad, but you guys can be the judge of that. So I'm gonna get packed down camp and then we'll get on the road. So it looks like there's actually a couple of hikes in this area. We are only going to do the one down to Python Pool, which is like 100 meters, so it's really not that far from the car park. But once we get down there, apparently you can obviously chill out at the bottom pool, but you can also hike up to the top pool. So I reckon we'll check that out whilst we're here as well. All right, this is absolutely stunning. Now, I am yet to see anyone actually swim here. I feel like there's been lots of people come through, neither of which swam. It's looking a little bit green as well, so I'm sort of on the fence if I want to jump in. Now, as far as the second section, we can apparently get up to, I've just seen it in other people's photos. I think it's like literally right behind us at the top there. So I might throw the drone up here. We'll sort of see what we're looking at, and then, yeah, we'll decide if we'll either climb up to the top or if we'll actually go for a swim. Definitely one of the perks of having a drone. So you guys would have seen that pool at the top there of the gorge, and it is completely stagnant water. So had I hiked up there, I feel like I would have been very disappointed. But when there is enough rainfall in this area, that actually turns into this beautiful waterfall, which I feel like would be so incredible to see. So maybe we can put that on our list for next time there's a bit of rain in the area if we're ever back here. But we've got about I'm going to say 4-hour drive. Like, it's a pretty decent drive out to Cape Keraudren or something like that. So we're going to head up that way now. Honestly, the drive in here was so exhausting. Like, I feel like it's just one straight road and you're trying to overtake some pretty big trucks along the way as well, so very time consuming. Yeah, I've come all the way out here. This is absolutely stunning. It's going to be a good little setup for tonight. When you come in here, you do have to pay for both a day access as well as camping for the night. So I think all in all it was like $31. Now, there is like 4 designated campsites, but when I drove in, they are all packed. Like, there is literally no space at any of them, but it does look like everyone sort of camped anywhere. So I just spoke with someone and they said sort of camp wherever you want. No one's really checking it, so I feel like we might have found a good spot. It is quite windy, so I might go for a little bit of a walk, sort of suss out if there is potentially a more sheltered spot. If not, this is where we are camping for the night. Going for a walk definitely paid off because I found an even better spot than before. It is still windy, but it's a bit more protected than where we just were, and I virtually have like no one around me. Now, apparently there are some really cool rock pools right now because it is low tide, so I think we'll go check those out and then we'll set up camp. Now that I've had a little bit of a look around, I can see that this would be a great place to set up camp for a couple of days, but we have only got, less than 24 hours to enjoy it. So I'm thinking I'm going to go set up camp, have an early dinner, watch the sunset right over the water, and then tomorrow morning I think we'll get up early. So we might get up for sunrise and then just do a little bit more exploring before we continue up north. considering how hectic the wind has been over the last 24 hours here, I had the best night's sleep last night, got up, enjoyed the sunrise, and then I am going to start making my way out of Cape Keraudren, which, look, we're not here for long enough to really enjoy it. I think that if you want a couple of days to completely chill out, if you love fishing, this is definitely the place to stay for, I would probably say, like, you know, an extended period of time. But we are on a bit of a timeline, so we are going to finish the last leg up to Broome today. So we are about 5 hours south of Broome currently. Now, I do want to make a stop off at the 80 Mile Beach, which is about an hour and a half from here. So I figured we'd start to make our way out because we were camped at the furthest point. We can sort of make a few stops along the way and just sort of check out this area a little bit more. But I have come out to the spot here called, I think it's Mosquito Creek. It does look a little bit crocky, I'm not going to lie. However, although croc sightings are not unheard of in this area, we're not quite in the area where, you know, we have to be obviously a lot more vigilant. So I think once we get up to Broome, crocs are going to be pretty much like part of our daily life. But I'm going to throw the drone up here. It is still super windy, but I'm going to try my luck. I'm not even kidding. I literally almost just lost my drone. So I don't think you guys can probably fully comprehend how windy it is because I have the mic on, but I sent my drone up. It was super easy to get it out, but I could not bring it back in. Like, I literally sent it out with 100% battery and I was in panic mode because it got down to like 20% because like the wind is just so crazy. The drone just couldn't handle coming against it. So I ended up having to send it in another direction. And then I had to quickly drive over there to get it, but it was in someone else's campsite. So yeah, entirely funny ordeal, but yeah, we may keep the drone on the lighter side of things today. We definitely don't want to be losing that, but I've just come out to this other spot and the water here is so blue. Once again, the drone would be epic here, but I'm not willing to risk it. So let's check out this spot and then we'll continue along. So made it out to 80 Mile Beach and I honestly thought that we could have escaped the wind, but I feel like it's actually worse here. But look, we're still going to enjoy our time here. This is typically not the beach that you should be swimming at. I feel like the water right now is like quite murky, but I feel like that's pretty standard. It is a really good fishing spot, although we're still not in croc territory, so it's still pretty safe, although look, never say never. But we're gonna go for a little bit of a walk. Apparently the seashells here are insane and I definitely want to add a couple more to my list as well. Finding this has got to be the absolute highlight. The detail on this is insane. It almost looks like as if someone has actually done that themselves and just pops it on the beach. Now, I did check, there is nothing living in there, so I'm thinking we're going to keep this for our little collection. You guys might remember back when I crossed the Nullarbor, I initially had this idea to collect patches, but honestly, I actually hate clutter, so it didn't really align with what I wanted to do, and it just feels ultimately wasteful. So I decided instead, I had already sort of started collecting a couple of seashells here and there, so that's exactly what I've kept up, and this is something that I think that I would keep with me for the rest of my life, that I can always refer back to this trip. So yes, this is going in as part of my collection, which I'm so stoked about. But in saying that, guys, I am going to close off this video here. I'm going to make the final leg all the way up to Broome, so I've got about a 4-hour drive ahead of me. Now, the reason for the rush is the BT is very much in need of a big service, especially as we head up into the Kimberley and then across the Gibbs. So make sure you stay tuned for next week's video. We will be exploring all of the incredible places around Broome, so I'll see you guys all then.